Well, I'm not exactly sure if you can hear me, but my name is Victoria Huff. I'm the founder of the Happy Executive, and today I am hosting a live stream so that I can introduce you to someone you should know. And that someone you should know is front and center in the screen right now, mainly because even though I have the two side by side windows, for some reason, I don't know why it's not working, but it doesn't really matter because as long as you can hear me, you can see the most important person at this time, which is Mr. Mark Green, who actually, I don't know, I mean, he has a PhD, so we could technically call him doctor, but
Oh,
he's he's very humble. So I
mm,
will I will tell you that he is very humble and really is on this platform to build connections and really, savor in the relationships, and he's here to serve. And so he is definitely someone that you should know. So Mark, welcome. I'm
thank you,
delighted
Victoria.
that you're welcome. I'm delighted that we're here today, and super excited about talking with you. So, one of the things that has been just so impressive is you have been, like, I would say we could call you like the king of revenue production. Okay.
Mm.
Because you have done so much revenue over the years. How much, if you were going to add it up, okay? Because we can all look at your profile and look at all the accolades, but if you were going to add up the revenue that you were responsible for negotiating for bringing into the companies, how much would that be?
Well, that's a that's a great question. I would say it would have to be over a half a billion, over 500 million,
Wow.
contracts that ranged from 100,000 all the way up to, um, you know, several million. 121 million, I think, was one of the largest contracts that I did. So
121 million.
yeah, it is actually a question in thinking back, is really you mentioned humbling to think about, the kind of negotiations that went on to achieve those contracts. So, a lot of people I have to thank over the years to
Right.
accumulate that kind of number.
Wow. A half a billion. I am just in awe. Like I knew it was a lot, but like if I was gonna guess, yeah, I was gonna say, oh, easily over 100 million.
Mm,
But yeah, it was yeah, way over that, five times, probably 10 times. And you know what? Like that's the thing. Like if you're gonna guess that it was a half billion, right? There
right.
probably more. Like if you set down, because I think, when we're negotiating contracts like this and relationships, and I know how you are about relationships and like I
Mhm.
said, building connections, you know, I'm just wondering how about all those dollars that you haven't calculated, because they may have been relationships that you started, right? And
Yeah.
then, before you moved on, because you've held a lot of different positions,
Yes.
like, so I mean, because you've been in the C-suite, and I mean, is there one of those though that uh that you feel was like a big difference maker in your career? Or
Yeah.
do you think, like, what would that be?
Yeah, I think the one, when I was working with Dell Technologies, I happened to have a client that we all know, and that's Walmart.
Mhm.
And that is it's an international company, a global company, not just here in the U.S., but they're located in Bentonville, Arkansas.
Hmm.
Um, Nevertheless, it it was one that where Dell Technologies had no contracts with, surprisingly, and so without going into all the details, basically in the headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas, I was able to walk in and actually just ask politely to have a meeting with the chief information officer, and he accepted and came
Wow.
to our meeting with where we had 30 people. He was absolutely in awe that many people were concerned about his business,
Yeah.
and he told me he could stay 15 minutes, and he ended up staying 3 hours, which I think is a real testimony
Wow.
for gaining connection with someone when they know that you care. And so we were able to negotiate a $125 million contract with data recovery. And
Wow.
it really opened my eyes when thinking that a company that's, 480 billion, um, and they had an IT budget of well over 2 billion of that. And we got a small portion of it at 125 million. So it's
Yeah.
back to
Wow.
humbling. It's
Yeah. Wow. But
yeah,
how awesome is that? So I mean, there are a lot of different pathways we could go
mhm,
down with this discussion, but I do want to just highlight this one before I ask you the next question. And you said you walked in and you asked a question.
yeah,
So, I think that speaks to who you are and that you genuinely honor people. But if you didn't ask, it wouldn't have happened, right? I mean,
that's right.
were you hesitant to ask? Were you like, what was going through your mind when you went in there?
Yeah, I mentioned we had a team of 30 people from all over the world, either connected there virtually or in person to figure out what was our plan to at least get some business with Walmart.
Right.
And we
Right.
had so many sophisticated ideas, and we went through strategic initiative, driver plans, all this stuff that it came down to. I was out taking a break, and the headquarters was just across the street, and I said, I'm just going to walk over there and just be who I am and see if he's okay with at least hello.
That's awesome.
We're from Dell Technologies, and I'd like to introduce myself. And I think when you show some empathy and show some concern for someone as a human being, and because later on, when I got feedback from the receptionist who was frightened when I said, I'm just going to walk in and introduce myself, she basically said no one had ever done that. And
Wow.
I found that interesting because I guess the taboo was, these are some of the most wealthy people in the world. Who would have the audacity to do that?
Yeah, right.
But I
Wow.
did it in the spirit of saying, look, I just want to meet you, and as a human being, um, let's take some time to get to know one another. That was my goal, and it turned out to be much better than that.
Oh my gosh. I think that is just such a shining example, of what can be done if we, really focus on, you know, the person, right? The
Yeah.
the person, the people that you're looking to connect with. I mean,
Yes.
I can imagine though, for that CIO, I mean, having that, 30 people or over 30 people that concerned about his business, I mean, that is flattering. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like
Yeah.
he's probably like, wow. And
Yeah.
to know that you were the one that was orchestrating it, I think, I think that that's awesome. But that had to take courage, to go.
Yeah.
I mean, did it? I mean, you know,
Well, one said that I let that, overpower my sensibility to walk in to do
oh,
that. But at the same time, I pride myself on looking to be, um, well, not looking, but granting authenticity,
yes,
being genuinely interested in people. It's a gift that I have, but I think the faith and the mission and the mindset that I have to build relationships to help people at whatever status they're in, whether they're a C-suite person or they're the custodian of the building.
right,
We're all people who are looking to find ways to overcome crises and adversity in our life. I mean, everybody's going to have 3 or 4 crises every year of their
hmm,
life, and it's how you respond to it. If you got someone that's interested in caring, showing empathy, I mean, just think about the opportunity that you have and how someone may open up to be able to say, yeah, I could use some support right now,
right.
and I think I'm the one to do that in many
Mhm.
cases.
I see that. I see that. I sure do. And if you are always working on yourself, like you are, I believe that you embrace not just business development and building, but also personal development. Like I
Yeah.
feel like you just do it all, and that's commendable because a lot of times what happens and is we might fall short of some things, like okay, we're just so immersed into the revenue numbers, we're not having that harmony in our
Hmm.
lives. And I feel it's obviously what we focus on is what's going to happen, right? But if there was just one success principle that I could say, Mark, what do you think it is? Like if I could just, if you could just discuss one right now so people
Yeah.
idea, what would it be?
Yeah, that one's easy. It all starts with mindset. It's all encompassing, but the fundamentals of mindset from all the way from nutrition and exercise and recovery
Mhm.
to how you think about things on a daily basis. I mean, it all starts with those fundamentals. Concentrate on yourself. I mean, the most important conversation you'll ever have is the one with yourself. And
Mhm.
I think we need to talk to ourselves more rather
Mhm.
than just listening to all the disruption and the chaos that's out there. I mean, everyone has a purpose and a passion and a reason for doing what they do. I think success is always going to be founded on mindset, and then from that you get into all kinds of ways to enhance whatever skills or behaviors or dimensions or traits that you deem necessary to be successful in your pathway.
Mhm. Yeah, I've heard you say that a few times, but can you tell me about what really pathway means? Like just,
Yeah.
overall, what it would be, what it would represent?
Well, everyone, you could call it a roadmap or,
Mhm.
venue or whatever. But I find that most people come to me and they have had a lot of different pathways that they've traveled. They've made good
Mhm.
decisions. Some were not so good.
Mhm.
They are where they are, and meeting someone where they are can then determine what better pathways can you develop to get you to where you want to go? What's your mission? What's your vision? And I find that many people don't know what that
Right.
is, and it takes some coaching and mentoring. But um, you know, not to go into all the cliches, but I see the start stopping most people, and it's going to
Mhm.
require consistency, to go down these pathways and determine. And sometimes you make mistake, but that's learning, and
Right.
so it's okay. It's okay, and that you need someone to help you get back on the right pathway or pathways strategically to have your life be determined in health, happiness, and wealth and wisdom. Those are
Right.
my pillars. So
Right.
I think most people would agree with that.
Yes. And, it's just like you were saying, determining, you know, where they even are, what they should do
Yeah,
next. E- and with you, we all know this, like they probably aren't seeing where even they are or where they need to be.
yeah,
But if they work with you, you can help them identify that, and then, really clearly help them, get to where they want to be. So I mean, how many clients, you are taking on a limited number of clients, right?
yes,
Over the next 30 days.
yeah.
So how many clients would you be able to serve over the next 30 days?
Well, I think with the techniques and the systems that I have in place, I'm thinking somewhere between 5 and 10
Mhm.
more would certainly work. Obviously, we'd have to have the conversation determine how that would manifest itself into the right fit and
Right.
motivation, etc. But um, good question, because I have the capacity to take on those kinds of projects and individualize. We also have some group coaching that I do, so there's different pathways again to help set up the right successful focus for those
Yes.
that are interested in working with me.
Yes, and I love that. And that, so, you are very much, you help people build those foundations. I feel like,
Mhm.
you are the rock, and you help people get back to the basics. I mean,
Yeah,
that's how I see you. And, you know, like in my opinion, you are, if people are looking to develop their business, to scale their business, you
yeah,
are the go-to person because
yeah,
of your track record and your beliefs in, really meeting them where they are, which
yeah.
I think is super important.
Yeah, thanks, Tori. My specialty is in the business world, is in the business development arena. Different than just sales. I mean, business
Right.
development, you have to know a little bit about everything
Mhm.
in the business world. But it, whether our technology leads us to front door, back door, digital, AI, whatever that is, it's still a human business, and you're going to have to still connect with those various human elements to make it work. So I think the fundamentals, the connection, the drive, all play into that. And, having the opportunity to work with people who truly want to improve and find a way to overcome adversity and find solutions, that's where I find my passion. That's what really moves me and motivates me.
Yes, yes, and I can hear the passion in your voice, and that is so invigorating, to be able to hear that. And you are just an amazing, amazing human. And when you
Thank you.
talk about, oh, you're welcome. But when you talk about, you are the go-to business development person, okay?
Yeah,
But behind that, like you said, it's human to human. It's person to
yeah.
person. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter. like we say, right? B2B sales. Well, there are people behind those businesses, right?
Yeah. Well, that's exactly right. And, I think it's not just it's B to B certainly, but it's H to H, human to human,
Yeah, right.
and
H to
that's
H.
right,
I
H
like
two.
Yeah, I love that. And it's so
Yeah,
true because that's it doesn't matter. I mean, yes, we are thriving with all this technology. We have so many different touch points, connection points, and we're very lucky, like
yeah,
even look at
that's right.
us, how we're able to talk, right? And we're
Yep,
not in the same state. You can have clients all over the world, doesn't matter, as long as you
that's
can,
right.
as long as they have wi-fi. Okay, so I'd just like to know if you would be willing to drop your calendar link in the comments of
Yes,
this live stream, either now, or you can just do it when it posts on my because
sure.
you are definitely someone that more of my connections in our community, and I think now, if you are open to taking on a limited number of clients,
Sure.
this could be something, it's February. And so
Yeah,
you can help them really get clear, like you said, with their mission and their vision. And I also just want to let everybody know that's listening that just reach out to Mark and have a discussion, because
yeah,
if maybe it's not just you that may be open to some guidance. Maybe you have a team of BDRs, or you're looking to develop a team of BDRs. You know, Mark may be able to help you with that as well. Okay. So
yeah.
so I would definitely encourage, have a conversation. I know Mark will open up to a limited number, of consults, and he's here to help.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, this has been such a pleasure, and I am so grateful for this conversation. It's been very pleasurable, and I will put in my calendar scheduler after this, and be more than happy to just have introduction calls just to get to know you, whether we work together or not. I love networking
Yes.
and learning about different people.
Yes, I think that's awesome, and, it can be just even 15 minutes if that's what it turns out
Yeah,
to be, 900 seconds. I've been using that
that's right.
that term, and it was so funny when I did that the other day. Someone was like, "You got me on that." I had to figure out how long that was.
That's right. Exactly.
I know, because it
Yeah.
is, but it's only 15 minutes. So, worth a conversation for sure. So, thank you again, Mark, for joining me today.
Oh,
I'm really
thank
looking
you.
forward to hearing more about this. And I'm really excited about all of the people that you can help this year and be the difference maker.
Oh, thank you, Toria. It's been my pleasure, and I appreciate everyone's involvement, and I look forward to meeting you.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, sounds good. I'll
All
see
right.
you soon.